Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel The Teacher, and today we are going to talk about how to make these kind of ID cards in PowerPoint, and along with that I will try to explain you a few of shape format and picture format commands. So let's get started. And yesterday one of my friend asked me if I can make a simple ID card for him and place these pictures on top of the ID cards. So I downloaded all those pictures in this folder, and you can turn on this preview pane if you want to see a larger view of the picture that you have selected. And here if you notice one thing, then you can find out that the dimensions of all these four pictures are not similar. So if I change the view to detail, and then here I right click and choose more, and here I make a check mark on dimensions and hit the OK key, and here you can note down dimensions of each of the picture. So I am telling you this because we want the same size of each picture on the ID card. So that is what I am going to explain you, that what is log aspect ratio when we will try to resize these pictures on top of the ID card. So here I created this ID card in Microsoft PowerPoint, and you can do the same in PowerPoint and Excel as well. The shape format and picture format commands are similar in all these three applications. So let's get started and see which commands I use to create this simple ID card. So first of all, if I go to the Home tab and then click the Select drop down button and choose Selection Pane, then you can see all the objects that I have used to create this ID card. And here in the Selection Pane, you can also notice that this group 3 also has two subgroups. And if you select this ID card, then you can also notice that we have two new tabs, shape format and picture format, both of the tabs, because the group object contains shapes and the picture. So that is why you are seeing both of these tabs on top of the ribbon. So if I click the group drop down button and choose ungroup, then you can see that we now only have one group and one subgroup. That means not all the objects are ungrouped. There are still a few objects that are grouped together, and now we only have one group left, and we also have to ungroup this. Now we can see all the objects in the selection pane separately, and here you can see which object I have used or which shapes I have used to make this ID card. So we have straight connectors, these straight lines here, and then we have this picture, and we have a rounded corner rectangle here. Then we have this outer rectangle, and then we have this text box. So when you make these kinds of cards in PowerPoint or Word or Excel and using multiple different kinds of object, then sometime what happen if you try to group them together by selecting one of the object, then holding down the shift key, then selecting the next one, then sometimes it get harder to select all the objects because there are smaller size objects on the slide. Then if you click by mistake on any other area of the slide, then all the objects might get deselected, or any other object gets selected which you don't want. So when you want only the particular objects to be grouped together, then you can take the help of Selection Pane, and you can select those objects easily through the Selection Pane by holding the Control key. So that way you can easily select a few or all the objects that you want to group. So here now I can either go to the shape format or picture format, and here I click the group drop down button and choose group. Now I zoom out by holding the Control key and then use the middle mouse button to scroll down or up to zoom in or zoom out. So a lot of viewers ask me that how I create the animated character for PowerPoint. So I always tell them that I use shape tools for all the graphic designing work that I do in PowerPoint. So if I want to make this kind of ID card, then it is very simple. I go to Insert, Shape, and here I choose a rectangle, draw the rectangle. So after drawing the rectangle, the first thing that you should consider is the size of the rectangle that you want. So you can easily modify the size, width and height by typing it here. Like I want a width of 5 inches and a height of, let's say, 4 inches. And by default the blue color is filled in most of the shapes, and if I don't want any color, then I click on shape fill and choose no fill, And if I want to change the outline color, shape outline, black outline. And if I want to increase the weight of the line, then I can do that by clicking here. So now if I want a rounded corner rectangle, insert shape, and here we have this rounded corner rectangle, and now I draw this rectangle here. And if you want to change the shape style, then you can do that for most of the shapes by holding this yellow handler, and then you can change the size, that how much round you want to make your rectangle. And now if I want to add the text into this rectangle, then I can do two things. Either I can insert a new text box on top of this rectangle, rounded corner rectangle, or I can right click on this rectangle and choose edit text. And here now I type the text. Let me make them capital. Okay. So now I select this rounded corner rectangle, go to shape format, shape fill, no fill, shape outline black, and then weight. I want to increase the weight, and I want to change the text color to red. I want to make it bold, and I also want to change the size. Want to increase the size a little bit. That's fine, I think. So here I would like to differentiate one thing, that either you can draw a rectangle for this one like here, and then right click and choose edit text to type text inside the rectangle, or you can also go with the text box here. So if let's say I draw a text box, but what is the difference between both of them, that by default the text box doesn't have any fill color and outline color. So let's say I type some text here, but now I want this text to be inside a rectangle. So the text box is itself a rectangle. What you only need to do is to go to shape format and have a outline color like this, and also I can change the weight. Now here I hit the enter key and go to the right side, right alignment, and here I type issuing authority, and I want to increase the line spacing between these lines here. So I click on this line spacing button and choose line spacing, let's say 1.5. Want to move this rectangle a little bit up and reduce the size. So here you can notice one thing, that if I try to reduce the size, then it is not reducing it. So that is because we have make a gap here by pressing 3 more enter keys. So if you want to reduce the size, then you can't do this by holding this handler here. You have to remove those enters. You have to remove those extra enters by hitting the delete key. I want to make it a little bit smaller, and now for the lines I can go with the straight line shape tool. Here we have the line tool, and I draw this line here. Now I want the same lines at the bottom. So what I can do, I can hold down the control and shift key while dragging and dropping this line. So before doing that, let me increase the weight a little bit and change the line color. Now if I hold control key, then you can see a plus sign along with the mouse pointer, and now I hold the shift key, and now if I drag and drop, then it will be in the similar position and will make a duplicate as soon as you will release the mouse button. So if the duplicate is on the same position with the accurate size, then what you can do, you can press the F4 key to repeat the last command. That way it will place a duplicate straight line here with having the same distance like this. So it is up to you if you want to do that, or you can also use copy and paste command. So the next thing is placing this picture, and if I go to insert picture, this device, and then go to desktop, and here I choose this picture, click insert. So let me reduce the size first, and let me place it right here. So if I want a outside border for this picture, then I can go to picture format, picture border, let me have this black border and a little bit increase in the weight. That's fine. So here you need to note down one thing, that is the size again. So when you draw the shapes, then you can have different width and height for the shapes. And you can also do that by clicking on this size section, and here I can change the height or width separately. But that is not the case for the pictures. So let's say if I select this picture and go to the picture format, then here you can see the size. So if I increase the size, then you can note one more thing here, that the width of the picture is also increasing along with the height. That is because by default for pictures in Word, Excel and PowerPoint, the log aspect ratio option is checked. So if I click this button here to open the size and position property window, then here you can see that by default the log aspect ratio is checked for the picture. But if I insert a shape, let's say a rectangle here, then you can notice that the log aspect ratio is disabled by default for the shapes. So that is what you have to consider while inserting or working with shapes. So once I have this card ready, for the next card what I want to do, I just want to change the picture. So I can do that easily by going to the picture format and then click on the change picture from a file, and this time I choose this picture. Click insert, and that way on the same place the next picture will get inserted, but you can see the difference between the size of the picture. So let's say I want a width of 1.86 inches. So if I change the width here 1.86 inches and hit the enter key, then you can also note that the height has changed automatically because of the log aspect ratio. So if you don't want the log aspect ratio, then you can either right click on the picture and choose format picture, and here you can go to the size and positions and uncheck this option. Now I can change the width separately by typing here 1.86 and hit the enter key. So that way by unchecking the log aspect ratio, I can change the height and width separately. So once you have everything ready, then you can go to the home tab and open the selection pane and select all these objects by holding the control key, and then make a group of them by going to the shape format, group, and make a group of them. Now we only have a single group because we selected all the objects and make a single group of them. So let's say if I select both of these objects and make another group of both of them, then here in the selection pane you will have one group and two subgroups. And when you are ungrouping, then you have to click on the ungroup as many times there are subgroup in the group. So if there are two more subgroups, then you have to click one more time to ungroup them all. Let me undo all this. So once you have this card ready, you can also do one more thing, that let me ungroup this, and here I select this one and go to the home tab and then click copy. And now if I open a new file in Microsoft Word, I can easily paste the same here. And if I go to the selection pane, open the selection pane here, then you can see the same objects also in the Microsoft Word. And now I can make them ungroup. There could be a few glitches after copying and pasting from PowerPoint to Microsoft Word, but you can still do that. You can also do that for Excel as well. Let me paste it here. One more thing I would like to explain here, that after grouping these kind of different shapes along with the pictures, if you will try to resize the entire ID card, then the things might get changed a little bit. Because when you resize a grouped object, then all of the shapes or picture get resized individually within the group. So it is best to have an accurate size before grouping the objects together. So I hope you will like this tutorial and might have learned a few new things. Let me know by liking, sharing and commenting on this video. And also subscribe to our channel for more upcoming tutorial videos. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.